Good evening. Welcome to Daily Talk. This is Gregory speaking. How are you doing tonight, rather? I'm doing just fine. Thanks for tuning in. So, today we're going to do what I told you what we're going to do first, this morning, and that is to deliver this topic on mental slavery. Now, if you're not awake, you need to wake up. It's never too late to wake up. So, I did a little bit of research on it, and this is what I came up with on mental slavery per Google standards. Mental slavery is a state of mind where discernment between liberation and enslavement is twisted, where one becomes trapped by misinformation about self and about the world. Okay? Now, we all know that black people was bonded with whips and chains about a century and some change ago. I got a statement for that. It says, the shackles of physical slavery were removed over a century ago. However, no outside actions can remove the mental slavery that was passed down and remains today with modern slavery with modern day blacks. Yet many of us are in denial. And that's where I'm going to stop right there. Many of us are in denial of the long-lasting effects of the traumatically brutal institution. So there's a lot of us that are in denial for being mentally slaved as we go right now. Because the thing is, guys, being slaved has been passed down. I'm going to give you a couple examples of it. Whips and chains. Think about that. It was physical. Now it's mental. We're killing our kind. We're killing blacks. We're killing everybody over cars, over chains, over materialistic things because we can't go by it ourselves. That's what they want us to do, though. They want us to off ourselves by putting all this flashy stuff in our face and not giving us the tools to go get it ourselves, giving us the tools to go get it from our fellow man, but they're not giving us the tools to get it for ourselves. So here is another quote. This is from Harriet Tubman. This is when she was trying to help free slaves back in the day. She said, I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. That's a powerful one. If you knew that you was a slave, you would try to find your way out of it. But being that they have pounded your mind, they have impacted your mind so much that you can't get out of it. How are they doing it today? I'm going to change it to modern times. How are they doing it today is Section 8, food stamps. And we as black people, what do we say? As long as you feed us, clothe us, and give us a roof over our heads, we're good. We're not going to try to get past that. We're not going to try to exceed that. That's my word. We're not going to try to exceed that because we're comfortable. We're in our comfort zone. I've been in my comfort zone a long time. These past 11 years in the military made me become comfortable. It made me feel like, I don't need to do nothing else because, I'm good. I get paid twice a month. It's a little bit. As long as I'm paying my bills, I ain't got to worry about nothing. How many of you out there think like that? As long as your bills are paid, as long as you're putting food on the table, clothes on your back, and your kids are good to go, that you're settled, you're good to go. You need to get out that mentality. You really do. As as the other people think, the Caucasian Americans think, that's where we need to get our minds to. They're not thinking on settling. They're thinking on exceeding. They're thinking on reaching for the stars and all of that. But what are we doing? How are we posturing ourselves for success? How are we getting from one stage to the next stage? I tell you how. By barely making the ends meet. By making someone else rich while you in your young, energetic, youthful stage working, slaving just to put crumbs on the table while the people you're working for are eating steaks every night. The CEOs and stuff eating steaks. But we got to eat the crumbs. That's why we like bacon. That's why we like chitlins. Because we couldn't afford nothing else back then. They fed us what they wanted to feed us back then, which was the scraps of the pigs and hogs, while they ate the luxury stuff. But how many of you going to wake up and see that they've been feeding you lies for the whole time? Another point, retirement. Retirement supposed to be you're retired so you can not have to work anymore. So you can just live off the fruits of your labor that you've done when you was working. But how many people retire from one job and have to go back to work again? That's not really retirement now, is it? That's how they feed you in the military too. I have nothing against the military. I've been in the military 11 years. It taught me a lot. A lot of traits that I didn't have before I got in. It taught me leadership. It taught me how to delegate. It taught me how to work hard myself. But it did not teach me how to set myself up for success. I've learned that these last couple of years, networking and doing my own research. So I'm trying to save some of you guys the hassle of growing old, working, but just worrying about Social Security or being stuck on food stamps or Section 8, because that's not what it's about. It's about us growing as a people, getting out of the hood. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with getting out the hood. There's nothing wrong with leaving your situation you're in right now to go get a better situation. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But the thing is, the people that's still in the hood that refuses to get out the hood, they're going to always tell you that if there is a problem, that you're changing. Don't listen to that, because you will always be enslaved in that way of thinking if you continue to think like, yo, man, I don't want to feel like I'm leaving the hood, I'm leaving my homeboys behind. If they was really your homeboys, they'll follow you. But that's modern day slavery has really sucked into their brain that they can't get out of it. I got to get out of it, guys. I got to go. I got to see what all this money they're talking about, because it's a lot of money to be made. It's a lot of money to be made if you want it. My challenge to you today is to go get that money. Go get it, because it's out there for you. So I'm going to recap. I want to know what you learned about modern day slavery. I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning, because if you're not learning, you're not living. But modern day slavery, past years, it was physical. These years, the modern times, is mental. Whips and chains, materialistic things, food stamps, Section 8, us thinking that being that we could put food on the table, clothes on our back, shoes on our feet, paying our bills, that's where it stops. That's where the train stops. No, 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 no. That's not where the train stops. But that's where they got your mind going at right now. That's where they all up in here. I challenge you to get them out of here and do you. Go reach for the stars, get your own money, get the long money. You know what I mean? Not just that crumbs. They're feeding us crumbs, guys. These 9 to 5 jobs, 15, 16, $17 an hour job, maybe $20 an hour job. That's still no money because you're still working for somebody that's making way more money than you, that's making decisions that impact your life. And what are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue to slave there, wait on retirement, 401k, RAs, all that is good to go. But you still got to go back to work if you haven't postured yourself throughout the years to be successful. So when you're actually retired, you're really retired. And that's what I'm going to work for. I'm going to work to be really retired, not just military retired where I do 20 years. Oh yeah, I get a little stipend, little benefits, but I still got to go back to work because that's not covering the rest of my life. That's just covering maybe a house payment, maybe a house and a car payment, if you retired at a high enough level. But where would you let the brain go? Where would you stop being mentally enslaved by these people? Where would you open your own mind, do your own thing, and get your own money and take your people with you? Pick up your people, reach way down to them and pick them up. That's another. That's another topic for another time. But this is it. My challenge to you is to do more research on the mental slavery, what they've done to us, what they've done to our people, and what they're doing now. It's not just blacks now. It's actually blacks and whites now. But back then it was just blacks physically slaves. Now it's blacks mentally slaves, more so than whites. But whites are feeling a little bit as well. Some of them may be self-inflicted. Some of them are maybe the same way. But our people, is actually, their system is set up for us to fail. They always want us to be mentally slave, so they think we have to depend on them. We don't. Let's get out of that, guys. And I challenge you to not be mentally enslaved anymore. That's my segment for today. I want you to look at this and replay it over and over. Bad quality video, which I'm going to upgrade my video because that's a part of what I want to do so I can bring more people to the fold. The content is great, but if you can't see me, if you can't hear me, then what are you looking at? What are you trying to listen for? So do that. But hold up. The slogan is believe in yourself, because sometimes yourself is all you have left. Thank you and good night.